This guy created he created the double-sided lightsaber.
Oh,
Chris, what's up?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
how are you, man?
Good. Good to be here.
Chris was nice enough to join us, and he's all set up to show us some of his art and talk a little bit about some of the projects that you're working on now. And I'm sorry, I'm way behind, but Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about what you're working on currently?
Yeah, sure. Currently, I'm a director on a television show for the CW network called Pandora. Really excited about that, to have gone from a 19-year-old dude, got his first job in comics, all the way to working in video games, and then working, of course, on the Star Wars stuff and Star Wars comics, through the Activision, working on Call of Duty games and all kinds of games we can talk about over the next few minutes, to get to the point where I'm now directing. Has been a pretty fun ride.
Awesome. That's cool to hear. So I keep hearing about this double-bladed lightsaber. Chad keeps telling me all about it. Matt has one right there.
I was gonna say you gotta give me a heads up so I can grab my lightsaber when stuff like this happens.
I'm gonna lose this. Flip this.
So I think these guys are trying.
So this is going to be up in a second.
Okay. We'll kind of zoom in on you once you get your shot here. Woo!
That is it, man. June 3rd, 1993. That's George Lucas puts his stamp on approving this idea, which had been challenged by licensing. Licensing was like, I don't know, man. One handle, two blades. It's freaking me out. And I was like, look, just show it to George, please. It's going to be fine, I promise. And he loved it. And this was the drawing they had me do. It's one of the first drawings of a Sith that they had. There were no Sith, so that. Wait, where's my damn camera at? Sorry. Oh, there it is. They had no Sith designs other than Vader. So this is also, the tattoo on the head and of course this takes place in the Old Republic, so 4,000 years before Luke Skywalker. So that was it. That was that's the image, and it ended up being used. I forgot all about it. I moved on from doing Tales of the Jedi in the Old Republic and moved on to working for Activision, doing video games, and I go to the movies and I see Darth Maul wielding that blade, and I was like, oh, I wonder. I guess George really did like it a lot.
That's a really cool thing to hang your hat on, Christian.
Thank you.
Hi, Drew. Nice to meet you. The thing I remember about that being so impactful for me as a younger individual, watching that first trailer. You waited for that first trailer for episode 1 for forever, and it finally came out. I'm like, what is this? What is that? What's this? That doesn't look like Star Wars. Everything's shiny. What's this? And then Darth Maul, boom, double-sided lightsaber. And you're like, all right, I'm in. I'm in. I'm going to see this movie the day it comes out. I will wait in line outside in the rain. And I'm telling you, that's what sold me as a kid. Was like, first of all, who's this guy? Right? And then the hood comes down and the lightsaber comes down. It's like, oh, I don't even care who this guy is anymore. He's my guy now. He's got that double-sided lightsaber.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I really appreciate that. And I it's been so great to have that affirmed, because I did have to fight for it. Like, they literally, if it had been up to licensing, it wouldn't have happened.
Wow.
And
So because they thought it wouldn't sell as a toy?
They thought George wouldn't like it. They thought
It was too dark.
Yeah, it was just messed with his ideas. There had been no alternative lightsaber at that point. There was only the flashlight handle thing, So to have played with it throughout the Tales of the Jedi run, I also did a curved handle because I was so into it. I was 23 years old, and they gave me the Star Wars Galaxy to play with. And no one had done the Old Republic to this extent that we needed it designed. So they were like, go nuts. We have nothing to go from, so it's all you. So I went crazy and got really into George's influences. I watched all the Kurosawa films. I read a lot about Joseph Campbell. I watched a video of Joseph Campbell, in case you guys, for those who don't know, Joseph Campbell was really, really integral in the design of the Force and the Jedi and their connection to nature. And between those two influences, I was able to kind of, I was like, okay, if I have to tell stories in the Old Republic 4,000 years before Skywalker, the culture has to look different somehow, right? It has to look different. So how would it be different? I know one way is if it is the case that the lightsaber is the metaphor for the katana, and it is, and if Jedi are samurai, well then, samurai 4,000 years, they had different weapons. They didn't use just the katana. They used all kinds of weapons. And so that's where it came from. And since Jedi come from all over the galaxy, those weapons, those lightsabers that they make are going to have different cultural influences on their design. So that's where all the ideas came from. Double-bladed, curved handled. I did some bow and arrow stuff. I did a pole arm. I went nuts. And,
that's like basically every kid's dream of my era, to be like, hey, your job is now to design a bunch of lightsabers for New Jedi.
Yeah.
Like when I was, a teenager in the 90s, that would have been like my number one job, probably,
It was super cool. I can't deny it. It was such a blast. And to have, it was a wonderful time to have, that was such a great resume enhancer. From doing Star Wars comics, I was able to go to Activision in the early days and work on Pitfall for the PlayStation and Spider-Man for the PlayStation. Spider-Man was done with Neversoft, who ended up doing the Tony Hawk series. Amazing bunch of guys. My favorite bunch of guys I've ever worked with in the video game space. They're gone now. Neversoft is retired, but the mark they left will be there forever. And if you guys don't know about the Neversoft legends, the legends of that company, you should. It was like a pirate ship. It was like a pirate crew that made video games. Really
you could tell when you were playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, all the Easter eggs that were in there, that everybody there was just having a good time. What was the differences between the design work you did at Lucas and the design work you did in the video game space? Is there a big difference between that, the game design aspect? You're mainly doing concept design?
Yeah, it's a great question. Back then it was so new. A character was 400 polygons. Cloud Strife, 400 polygons. Tifa, 400 polygons. Pitfall Harry, 400 polygons. Spider-Man, everybody had like 400 to 500 polygons depending on the engine they were and the render style they were going for. So the limitation was intense, and you'd go back and forth between, I really have to think about what can be done polygonally, and then at other times they'd be all, forget about the limitations, forget about the technical specs, just do stuff, just do cool stuff, let us figure it out. And that's how it was back then. And it was a great time. They really didn't know much about where it was all going to go. The Xbox hadn't even come out yet. Bill Gates was giving interviews about how he never needed to do a console because the PC would always be a more powerful platform for video games than any dedicated console. And we all know what happened with that. So it was really early fun days. E3 had just started. And so you could just, E3, talk about a playground. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been to Comic-Cons and maybe even San Diego, but to have grown up in San Diego Comic-Con and then go to E3, it was intense. It was an intense thing. So as far as specifics about design, other than the polygonal limitations, it was very similar in that, again, there was this freedom. It was like, okay, look, it's going to be Pitfall, but in 3D for the PlayStation. So it's a jungle, and what are we going to do? And so as a concept artist, you were actually helping out with all kinds of design questions. If you came up with a cool bad guy, you throw it at the team, and the design team would be all, oh, that's so cool, and we could do this, and we could do that. And the level design would be as a result of cool looking art. Now, it's funny, as an artist, those of you who may know this, in video games, there's this constant battle between art and design. The designers want to make sure the gameplay is good, and the artists want to make sure it looks good, and sometimes those do battle. I'm an artist, but I'm always on the side of design. I think gameplay comes first. But back then, the gameplay, it was all so new to everybody that we were like, well, we don't even know what really great gameplay can come from great art. Let's just go for it. So it was basically like a lot of drawing, putting it on the wall, and then the teams would come in and get excited or not.
Hey, Christian, I this is Chad. We've talked a ton on the phone, and I appreciate you for being on. I have a question.
Yeah, please.
From the chat. and I know you're coming back on Sunday, and we're gonna have a lot more questions. But how much are you taking commissions currently?
Yes, I am. I am taking commissions.
So, do you mind going over some prices?
I don't. And do you mind if I give my email out?
No, then
contact me here. That's Christian.Gossett, 2 S's, 2 T's. Just like Lou, for those of you who go back that far, at Gmail.
I asked a gentleman to draw something, and I'm going to see if we can hit up Christian. Christian, are you there? Christian, are you there?
Hello.
He's coming.
Hey.
Hello.
Can we get Can we get a progress update, and can we see what you got going on?
Yeah, totally. Just give me a sec. I wanted to show this to you guys.
This is a gift to a friend of mine that means a lot to the con.
Awesome, man. I'll show it to you guys in a moment. Just gonna get it all ready for presentation here. It was fun listening to you guys geek out on Leatherface.
You're making full
It's
screen.
totally fun to hear all that.
Work.
That love, you can't fake that love, man. You cannot fake that kind of love. All right, so as you guys know, I didn't have just a real quick sketch, so disclaimer and all that shit. Let me just show you guys real quick.
You sound like me.
Solo Loyout. Here we go. You're on the big screen.
Do it.
Oh yeah, let me turn that on. Flip it. Turn that off. So there you go. It's a real quick sketch. Quick.
Real quick sketch.
Super.
This is why I don't have pencils
sketch.
anymore, Alex.
This is just the armor. I just did this in like the last 20 minutes.
Jeez Louise.
Incorporated armor.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Oh, really?
Thank you. Severed head. I figured you guys would dig the severed head.
Oh yeah,
Digging it.
big fan of Severed.
Severed head with the straps on, and this dude took a shot to the chest and still won the fight.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Just kidding. Obviously, I didn't draw this right now.
I was like, that's next level.
All right, thanks. Obviously, did not draw that. This is here it is. Batman with I'm sorry, Batman. Vader with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I wonder whose logo that is. Look at that detail. God
Wow,
That's
dang.
so good.
That's really.
Thanks.
Brother, that is
Awesome.
amazing.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian. Like I said, that has been. I had
Dude, I bought that for you, so shut up.
20 thank you very much, Chad. I really appreciate it. And you can see behind me, I've got several different artists' interpretations. I always want more. And that's one of my favorite
I
ones.
love how Chad's like, basically like, hey,
There's a-
nice thing for you now. Shut up.
So I have some other artists, Chad. Want me to start bringing some artists, Ally?
Well, let's finish off with Christian real quick.
Yeah,
and
let's
then
talk-
you
let's
want to
talk
send her?
to her.
You want to send her the link?
Oh, I have two people, Kyle Willis and Gabby House.
All right. So
I
send her
can,
the
I
link.
can drop out
Let's
for
talk to Christian. Christian.
Yeah.
Hey,
Christian
thanks,
will
you
be.
guys.
Christian will be. Oh shit! Sorry, Christian. Christian will be joining us on Sunday. I will be sending him a link, guys. He is going up on the website if you guys want any of his artwork. If you want to buy the Red Star Battle for Car Darthia,
that's like legitimately one of the most beautiful books.
you did the whole entire book.
I created the series, designed all the characters, and wrote most of the stories. The painting was done by the painting for the first three was done by Byron Tallman, who used to go by the name Snakebite. Yeah, you guys can see my daughter's work. My daughter's handiwork. Daddy, I'm gonna paint your nails. I'm all right, baby.
Hey. Mad
Come on, baby.
respect.
You can do it, baby.
Mad
Just-
respect.
Thank you. And she had a great time.
She did a great
do my
job,
hair
by
next.
the way.
Gotta do my hair next.
She did
Hey.
a great job. Your nails look on point.
Thank you very much. I was like, baby, can you do chrome? She's like, shit.
Yes.
So yeah, so the Red Star, you can buy them from theredstar.com. Everything you buy from us gets signed by me. And if you want a little sketch in there, just let me know. 5-time Eisner nominee, the Red Star. 5-time Eisner nominee. That's the 4th book was painted by the guys, my buddies from What a Workshop, who designed a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff and all the great movies the last 20 years since then. Good friends of mine. I worked with them for a little bit, and that's the only graphic novel they've ever done externally. They've never worked on another graphic novel other than mine, other than their own internal one that's done by my buddy Greg. But yeah, so I was really proud of that, and really look forward to seeing if anybody does want to order one from theredstar.com. I'd be happy to hear from you. If you want to visit me on Instagram, there's a free online gallery at Gossett Pictures, Gossett_pictures, and that's me. See all kinds of stuff.
And guys, again, if you can
smoke at all, that book is really, really great.
Thank you.
If you guys can, all our super chats tonight are, as always, go to the Hero Initiative.
Yes,
we are a proud supporter of Hero Initiative, and if you can, please check out their website. They have some great events, and I'm going to lead that into Carson. Carson, by the way, dude, we got a sponsor.
What?
Yeah, we got a sponsor. Here, can you put me on the big screen? Can you put me on the big screen? Come on, man.
I was getting the Hero Initiative link. Come on, man.
Dude, what?
There you go. Chad, everybody. What do you got, Chad?
We have a sponsor called 4th Street IPA. It's a brewery, and as you can see,
they gave you all the beer.
A couple of them, yeah.
But I was supposed to send this to you guys, and
whoops,
I've been drinking it instead.
Thanks, Chad.
I'll pay you next week.
Vintage Chad.
I will pay you next week. All right, so Christian, thank you so very much. I mean, can we get one last look at that one image?
Which one?
I would like to see the Vader.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, me. Wow.
Oh my God.
It ain't. Yeah, I'll finish up the gauntlet and.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Check out Christian's stuff. Christian, thank you so much.
Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being a part of us.
Thank you for the kind words about the Red Star. You guys, great meeting y'all. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Thank you.